Uh,
And why would we do that? Why?
Ooh, and lately, also too, I found some more adult stuff on kids' cartoons. Oh my god!
Those are the first words that just went out over the stream. I connected, and the first words to go out is Venison saying, "I found some more adult stuff on kids' cartoons." Thank you,
Cool.
Venison, for
kids cartoons. Now,
I aim to please.
what are you talking about? Because now I am concerned. Before we were thinking that Dune might be concerned, but what the fuck?
I've caught them doing some whoppers, but this one just made me laugh my ass off. Oh god!
Did you laugh so hard you saw Uranus?
No, I didn't have a telescope. Now then,
apparently the last couple of days you could see it with your naked eye.
Not in this neighborhood. Too much light pollution.
Oh.
Now then, you're familiar with the cartoon show on PBS, Arthur?
Yeah, it's what kind of animal is Arthur? I know they're creatures that talk. They're what? Oh, aardvark. Now, are they all aardvarks or
no? They're all different types. Buster Bunny and
oh, that's right.
So
one's
we're
bunny.
Getting down to why Congress just unfunded. That was public.
Oh yeah, that was a little while ago.
Yeah.
No, they did the whole public TV too. They they defunded the what is it? The something for the humanities and another one.
And there's your chicken.
Yes, it is.
Now, I once was listening to another call-in radio show many years ago, and they're talking about something to do with kids and raising kids and teaching kids and babysitting, whatever. And so this one lady calls in about how her kids, when they start talking, as kids tend to do, they didn't properly enunciate everything. So
oh yeah,
they would abbreviate ing words that end in ing to just kind of end in in, coming, going instead of coming, going, and this is a mother with a kid. She's got to pick her battles. She's not going to fight for G's. She's going to fight for them to eat their vegetables off their plate. But her mother, the kid's grandmother, is like, well, you really should teach them to speak properly. And
yeah.
So and she's like, oh, come on, coming, going, whatever. I don't care. No. So grandma's gonna babysit one day. Grandma's like, I'm gonna teach him to talk properly. And so the grandmother, spends the day teaching him about coming, going, and so the mother comes to pick up the kid. It's like, where are you going? I'm going home. Oh, see, like I taught him. And they're like, hey, what do you have for lunch today? I had chicken.
Yeah.
So that worked out well.
Yeah. And the kids don't realize what's going on at all.
I thought you're supposed to always have a G at the end of words that end within. See?
Well, sometimes you just mispronounce them. It's not your fault. It just sounded that way because of enunciation. And I got sent home from school.
Oh, that was because you talked about a ship, right?
Yes. And that's a ship. And everybody in the class went, ooh.
Did you just lose your 2 front teeth or something?
No. I don't remember. But then she just said, what did you say? I said, that's a ship. Next thing I know, I'm in the principal's office. And it's like, what are you in here for? I don't know. She would have one of some flashcards. And I said, that was a ship. Next thing I know, I'm home.
Oh, next thing you know, you're home, taking a shit, trying to figure out what
no, not at all. I came home. My grandmother said, looked at me. It's like, what are you home for? And I told her. I did, she was holding up some flashcards, and I said that was a ship. And next thing I know, I went home. You said it was a what? It was a ship, and I drew a picture. The typical boat type
nice
thing.
Little spiral type of thing, and some stink lines coming off the top of it.
No. It was a regular boat, with one large cabin, and had 3 smokestacks on it. 3 smokestacks. That's not a boat. That's a ship. And they wanted to label the car a boat, but I was going to be smart and said that's a ship.
Oh, maybe it was a steamboat. Maybe it was a tugboat.
No, the tugboats don't have 3 stacks. This was an ocean liner.
Oh no! Doesn't a ship have sails and a flag?
It could. But my grandmother heard that, and she was like, "Oh, so that's what it was." She went back to the school. She must have gave them an earful. I don't know what she said to them. I wish I could have been there. Because the next thing I know, you can go back to school. But do I have to? Yes.
Darn.
So, yeah, darn. And I got back into class. This was a kindergarten. I got back into class. I said, what is that all about? You said a bad word. What did I say? Shit. I didn't say that. I said, Chip, what's the shit? What's the shit?
So do you know the famous Soupy Sales joke?
But then they told me, and I was like,
what starts in F and ends in UCK?
Right.
Fire truck.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. I don't know what you were thinking, but certainly that was a joke about a fire truck.
But he was telling that joke to children, and pretty much that ended his career.
No, is that true, or is that urban legend?
Yes, no, it's true.
But
Snopes it, man.
We're gonna have to Snopes that, but first we got to introduce it, because we are tuned in here to another fun-filled edition of Time Out with Gators, Brian, and Venison. And thank you. And we have got a heck of a show planned for you. And of course, the $1 million question for everyone on everyone's mind this week is: do you like burgers? And I guess we'll start with Brian. Brian, do you like burgers?
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Venison? You like burgers?
I went to get my chicken.
Oh, that was the wrong answer.
I didn't hear it. I had headphones plugged in.
No, the question is, do you like burgers?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, there we go. That's better. What about you, studio audience? Studio audience, do you like burgers? Of course. This is great, because I found one of the most entertaining things I've found on the internet in a long time. It's the best thing to hit the internet since all that free veal that Dave Letterman found.
Better than subservient chicken?
I found a talking cheeseburger that does a bit of a show on iVlog. And what could be better than a show hosted by a talking burger? And he's tasty, and he'll talk to anyone that likes burgers.
Well, Mayor McCheese.
Mayor McCheese. Yeah, he's probably friends with Mayor McCheese. He might be related to Mayor McCheese for all we know. But no, I tell you, it's this thing that Dune found on because Dune, hangs out in the iVlog and all the vlog places and whatever, and it's called the Super Dumb Show, and it's on iVlog, and he shows up usually kind of late at night, maybe a few times a week, and he's just talking cheeseburger. That just hangs out and asks everyone if they like burgers, and he went on a bit last night. Dune and I left him a voicemail. And he played it, and then he went into like a what's that site that's like chat roulette, but it's not chat roulette.
You asking me?
You don't. Okay. I don't remember what the name of this site was. It was something like chat roulette, but it wasn't chat roulette. The point was is that he was going in to randomly chat with people on cam, and anytime someone showed up on the cam, Omegle is the site, and so he would just pop up as a talking burger and go, "Hi, you like burgers?" And basically, all but two people just immediately click next. Hey, you like burgers? Click. Hey, you like burgers? Click. Hey, you like burgers? Click. No one on Omegle wants to talk to a talking cheeseburger, and I don't understand this because this was pretty darn entertaining. I think they were disappointed that it wasn't a talking dick on the camera, because people go to camera chats to see dicks, right? Isn't that what I wouldn't know because I don't do that, but
I wouldn't know because I don't have the camera.
My understanding is these random cam chat sites are where to go if you want to see a whole lot of dick, which is why I tend to stay away from them. Now Brian, however, has found something very interesting on his phone, and he's going to share it with the rest of the class.
Well, I haven't found it yet. Sorry.
Oh, he's looking. What are you looking for? Doing some research for the show?
The Soupy Sales.
Oh, Soupy Sales. That's right. We were going to actually. I've already forgot about that. I don't know. Let's see. Soupy Sales smutty jokes is an article on Snopes. Soupy Sales routinely sneaks smutty jokes into his television program. That one is labeled false. 1953, a struggling young comedian and radio personality named Soupy Hines tired of eking out a living doing stand-up gigs at clubs around the Cincinnati area, acted on a tip from a friend and drove to Detroit in the hope of finding work in television. Born Milton Supman, Soupy was a childhood nickname suggested by a southern pronunciation of his last name, and the surname Hines was an adopted reference to the Heinz Soup Company. Hines had some experience in the new medium, having hosted a teenage dance show and an evening interview comedy program in Cincinnati. But the job he landed at TV station WXYZ in Detroit was different than anything he'd ever tried before, hosting a daily lunchtime show for children. Soupy's 12 o'clock comics soon changed to Lunch with Soupy. After a final surname change a few years later, Lunch with Soupy Sales was unlike any other children's program. Soupy was neither a sober adult figure who provided children with daily lessons, nor a costume-clad huckster who furnished the continuity for a string of cartoons and commercials. With his cast of puppets, Pookie the hip lion, Willie the sickest worm in Detroit, White Fang the meanest dog in Detroit,
Yay!
Blacktooth the sweetest dog in Detroit, the latter two each represented only by a single on-screen paw and off-screen growls. Soupy delivered the rapid-fire stream of sketches, gags, puns, and, of course, plenty of his trademark pies in the face. Soupy's popularity grew through his years, blah, 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 blah. So apparently some of his legends that came, some of the risque gags attributed to Soupy over the years include Soupy telling the joke, what starts with F and ends with UCK, a fire truck. Soupy singing a ditty entitled If UCK. Soupy's playing a game with White Fang in which the dog grunts the alphabet but consistently misidentifies the letter F as the letter K until Soupy blurts out in a mock exasperation, every time I see F-U-C-K. Soupy telling his audience, I climbed up a tree and kissed my girl between the limbs. Soupy's exclaiming, my wife can't cook, but she sure can cream my banana. And Soupy's announcing, I took my wife to a baseball game. I kissed her on the strikes, and she kissed me on the balls. Soupy himself explained in his autobiography, none of this was anything he could have gotten away with on television in the mid-1960s and still have remained on the air. So Soupy's assessment of how these rumors came to be associated with this TV show agrees with ours. After many years, I think I finally figured out how these ridiculous stories got started. Kids would come home and they'd tell a dirty joke. You know, grade school humor. And the parents would say, where'd you hear that? And they'd say, the Soupy Sales Show, because I happen to have the biggest show in town. And they'd call another person and say, Gladys, did you hear that joke that Soupy Sales was telling on his show? And the word of mouth goes on and on until people start to believe you actually said things like that. So I don't know. Maybe it's kids blaming dirty jokes on the man on TV. But no, he never said these things. According to the internet. So it's got to be true.
It's got to be true. Yeah.
Oh, and every once in a while, Black Tooth and White Fang would actually make appearances on the show. Just pieces of them anyway, like like an arm or something.
Right. Right. That's what they referenced on there. But anyways, I was going to tell a little story last week, and I realized after the show I completely forgot because Brian and I were talking like before the show, and I was talking about something to do with an egg, and I sent a tweet out a few weeks ago, but so the person who left the egg in the fridge, I'm not sorry for breaking it. You're an idiot for leaving a loose egg in the fridge. And this was at work. And I just want to see if I'm right here. Because as far as I could tell, there's not really much more I could have done in the situation anyway. So, we had the communal fridge in the dining area. And I opened up the fridge. And of course, I get into work pretty early. So I put my lunchbox in the fridge. And then, everyone and their mother gets into work after me and puts all their stuff in the fridge. So by the time I go to get my lunchbox out of the fridge for lunch, my lunchbox is behind everything else. So I got to shuffle things around, move things around to try to get my lunchbox out from the back of the fridge without disrupting everything too much. Someone, I guess, decided that, hard-boiled eggs is a good snack or a lunch or whatever. And that's fine. I've done that. Perfectly fine. But they just left loose hard-boiled eggs, no bag, no container or anything, just a few loose hard-boiled eggs just right on the shelf, close to the front of the fridge, so near the edge of the shelf. So, I'm moving my lunchbox, moving this to that side, moving that to that side, navigating this here, move that there. And the next thing I know, egg falls off the shelf, drops on the floor. And what is one supposed to do in this situation? Because the egg had no name on it. I don't know whose egg this is. And anyone else that was in the room didn't seem to care about this. No one even commented like, "Oh, you broke it." No, people just went on eating their lunch after I made my little.
You bought it, buddy.
I don't know. What should I have looked up? What the current price is for eggs and left a pile of change next to the broken egg in the fridge? Or should I have sent a global email out to everyone asking who left the eggs in the fridge? Should I have made an effort to track down the owner of this egg?
I would have just put the egg on the counter and with a Sharpie write on it, Humpty.
I like your thinking there. That probably would have done it. That's too bad I didn't think of that. I wish I did think of that. That would have been perfect. Just write Humpty. Yes. That's exactly what happened. We had the Humpty dance working its way out of the fridge onto the floor. But no, I did the only thing I could think to do, which was look around to my left, look around to my right. No one's looking up. No one's looking at me. So I picked up the broken egg, which was still in one piece with a shattered shell around it, put it back on the shelf of the fridge where it fell from, and closed the fridge, and continued on my merry way. And I thought to myself, it's not that I'm trying to walk away from this or try to do a hit and run. I just honestly don't know whose egg this is and don't think that this is a big enough deal that it's worth the effort to track down whoever it is to offer a personal apology. I figured the apology is implied.
No,
because who wouldn't be sorry they broke an egg? But but then again, I tweeted about it.
I wouldn't.
I wasn't sorry because that person was an idiot to leave an egg like that in the fridge. I mean, Brian, would you leave a loose hard-boiled egg like that in the communal fridge and not expect?
No, I'm not an idiot.
So we're in agreement that this person was an idiot.
Yeah. I mean, like you say, it wasn't labeled.
Yeah, no label. But we did the Humpty Hump. That's exactly what happened in that fridge. It was Humpty. Took a nosedive out of the fridge. And I did think of calling in the King's Horses and the King's Men, but their track record, as I understand it, is that they can't put Humpty back together again.
Yeah, they couldn't do shit.
Yeah.
Now then. Which came first? The chicken or the egg? They finally figured it out. The egg, because the egg was the one that got laid.
Oh,
boy.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you get that, Jonathan?
That was Venison. How is Forge doing? Because he must have told you that.
No.
That's a Forge level joke right there.
Actually, yeah, I saw it weird. I found it on the internet.
Speaking of
so it's true.
Speaking of lame humor, I tried to do this yesterday, and I don't think anyone really got it. But every now and then, we like to do these, fun comparisons between different things, and like for example, like comparing hot sauce to mayonnaise. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Here we go again.
Did you have a problem with this comparison bit that I tried to do?
Okay, I might be on the fence a little bit, but there are others out there. You will bust a cap in your ass.
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm not chilling in Oakland anymore, so I think it's just this was a YouTube clip that Gothard found years ago, and it reminded me of Sloan, and it's just random and it's just stupid and it's just kind of silly, and it just does this.
Black people, black people, do 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 do. White people, black people, do 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 do.
And you know what? There's actually a visual that goes with this. That
is it saying rat people?
No, it's saying white people, black people, do 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 do. It works better if you put the visual up with it. So let me here we go. It goes like
white people, black people, do 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 do. White people, black people, do 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 do. White people.
I think you get the idea of this. It's a loop, and it's just silly. And Gothard's like, we should use that as a bit to kind of compare, like if you have like two different versions of the same song, and there's a clear difference.
What's the visual?
A nerdy-looking white guy wearing glasses, and it's a still picture that's just being moved back and forth, and then a black person wearing a suit and tie. And he's Brian, that's about it, right? It's really just silly.
And the sign "white people" is flashing.
Yeah, it's blinking big text.
People, I mean, it's
black people. It's
just silly.
It's just silly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But the thing is that sometimes you get like something that's kind of similar, but like one's clearly the white version and one's the black version, and this isn't a declaring a winner or a contest. This is just a comparison, and usually when we do this bit, the white guy loses, so it's okay, right?
Sure.
Well, here's the thing: is that there was a group in the 70s called the Jaggers, which were a group of white guys doing soul music out of Pittsburgh. And they had a big hit called The Rapper. And very few people know about their follow-up song called I Call My Baby Candy. And, I kind of like their album. And I had a copy of it when I was younger, and I bought a CD of it, and I enjoyed it. But I just recently picked up another CD of a group that Venison used to hang out at their barbershop called Parliament.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A quick note on that song, The Rapper.
Yeah.
Okay, back in the day as a kid, and that song first came on the radio. We were like, "Oh boy, a new song! What the hell's this?"
Well, you didn't like it?
No, it sounded pretentious. Even I noticed there was something wrong with it. I listened to this, I was like, "What the hell?"
You didn't. What was your problem with it?
It didn't, sound like like a rapper should sound.
Well, they're so. Anyways, the thing is, though, is I think their follow-up song was actually inspired by. It's something. He had two songs, and I mean, they got different melodies and different styles, but there's certain elements that you feel like one may have inspired the other. And I have a feeling that it's a watered down inspiration, because this actually, I gotta say, I'm glad I picked up this Parliament album here. Parliament's first album was released in 1970 on Invictus Records. It was called Osmium, and after that, due to contractual issues, they couldn't release another album with the Parliament name until 1974. Yeah, I picked up a copy of this recently. And this song is called "I Call My Baby Pussycat," which is already a great name for a song, and it's completely innocent. They're talking about cats, of course. He's talking about, right? I mean, let's listen to the lyrics. It's clearly about cats. Is what it's about.
Is it?
I think so. I don't see any way this could be misunderstood. I think we all know what they're singing about here. I'm the tomcat, you're the pussycat. See, it's a song about cats. Looking at the paw, Yeah. Just wants, a little bit of back scratching here.
Are you sure it's not, being an analogy to something?
But it clearly got a nice groove going here. I mean, this is where it's at right here. And we'll just let the refrain play here. See, it's educational.
Uh-huh.
So I can't help but wonder if when the Jaggers wrote a song called "I Call My Baby Candy," if it was inspired by "I Call My Baby Pussycat," but watered down a bit. I mean, it's a different melody, but it's kind of "I call my baby candy, I call my baby pussycat." I can't help but wonder if the Jaggers had bought the Parliament album, and if that song kind of inspired them to write a song to try to be similar, but just very, very white.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You just said it right there.
And I think that's the premise of this bit. You can listen to them both and appreciate them for their own things, and it's just a fun little comparison.
Yeah, white people trying to overtake the black people, take their music and make it their own, make it more popular.
I don't know about that. Let's compare the careers of Parliament to the Jaggers.
They did it to all the artists during the 50s and early 60s.
Well, yeah, but
yeah.
But in this example, let's see. So Parliament and the Jaggers each released an album in 1970. The Jaggers went on to release a few singles, disappear off into obscurity, and be relegated to the one-hit wonder and the oldie circuit. Parliament went on to release several other albums throughout the 70s and 80s. Yeah, I think Parliament came out ahead in this one.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, they did.
But is this a case of cultural theft?
No, I think it's a case of cultural inspiration because they certainly they may have lifted a few
Cultural birth.
they lifted a few words, but they certainly didn't bring the funk, which is
Yeah.
they weren't stealing it properly. If they properly stole it, it would have been funky. And I don't know. I just wanted an excuse to use the sound effect.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Reaching there a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Actually, as far as Parliament goes, I like the funkintelligy versus the placebo syndrome.
Actually, I got the word wrong. It's hashtag
was a cool
cultural
album.
appropriation.
Cultural appropriation. Okay, now
Yeah.
now Venison, you mentioned yesterday when I brought this topic up that you actually went and got your hair cut at the barbershop that the members of Parliament were working at before they
Yeah,
formed Parliament.
that freaks me out.
So George
You know?
Clinton cut your hair?
No, they weren't at the barbershop. But come on, they were mega millionaire pop stars by that time.
Oh, you got there after the fact.
After the fact,
So it was
but like
you
I
weren't
said,
there in the 60s, you were there in the 70s.
more like the 90s.
Oh.
Yeah, so all I got to see were the pictures on the wall, of them being there. The barber shop actually had, pictures
Well, that's its claim to
of the
fame.
group and a couple other people. And I never realized that place was that famous.
Well, it would be. I mean, that's where the funk was born.
Yeah, P-Funk City. That's why they call it P-Funk.
Exactly. Well, you know what we should do? We should try to call our cheeseburger friend and leave him a message. Because the last time Dune and I left him a message, he connected that evening and did a show and played the message. And I just want to keep establishing this friendship here because, it's good to have a friend of the food and burger variety. You never know when it comes in handy. So we're going to go ahead and do the call here. See if he actually happens to be there by some chance. But I don't think he will. So let's see here how this works. So we're calling Super Dumb right now. Nope, user not online. Oh, that's too bad. All right, so now let's see if it'll let me leave. It should let me leave him a video message or a voicemail message. You know what? Skype won't let me do it because it doesn't like the fact that I'm using my webcam to stream. So it's like, no, he won't let you do that.
Uh-huh.
You know what though? Maybe if I screen share, that'll take the webcam off, and then it'll let me grab the webcam for Skype. So let's go ahead and we can close that now, and I will just let you take a look at my Zelda wallpaper, and we're just gonna go ahead and see if. No, it still won't let me. Maybe it won't let me do it while I'm on another call. Well, let's try group call again. Oh, come on. Let me leave a message at least. All right, tell you what, Venison, I'm going to try to leave a message and call you back, and you can eat some chicken.
I got to make another batch.
This will just take 2 or 3 minutes. All right. That's what it is. It won't let me leave a video message while he's on the line. But we're gonna do this quick, and let's see. Is it looking good? Hit record when ready. All right, you ready, Brian, to leave a message for a cheeseburger?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello there, Mr. Burger. Johnny Gators here again, and you're probably wondering how many shows do these guys have? All of them. We have all of the shows, except for the ones of the burger variety. But that's your show. But no, this is Time Out with Gators, Brian, and Venison, which is on Mondays, 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And along with me right now is my co-host Brian. Hello, Brian.
Sup?
Now, Brian. $1 million question here. Do you like burgers?
Yeah, get me a burger, man.
He likes the burgers. They're tasty. They're delicious, juicy.
Delicious.
Now, when have you last had a burger, Brian?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Where did you go out for a burger? Or make your own burger?
No, what it was, I was driving along and I had to pee. So I stopped at the Burger King. Well, if you're going to use the guy's restroom, you're going to get some of his product. So I got a burger.
What did you go get with the Whopper or the Double Whopper or the?
Actually, I went cheap. I went to the value menu and I got $1 cheeseburger.
That works. That makes a great snack.
Yep. And a small Coke. So I spent $2 there.
$2. Burger.
Yep.
Coke.
A burger and a Coke. $2.
Now, did the burger try to talk to you before you ate it?
No.
So it wasn't our friend here. Anyways, so there's our burger story. Hey, hope we'll see you online soon. And hey, call in if you get this, or we'll call you later. Bye.
Bye.
So there we go. There is our. We're gonna send that. And now I'm going to stop the screen share and put the camera back over here so that you can all see me. And we're going to call Venison back. But yeah, I wish I could. I think
he's taking a couple of bites of his chicken burger.
It's chicken
How
burger.
is that for just in time?
Yeah,
I just put the headphones back on and you rang.
There we go. So yeah, we I wish I had like YouTube. I think he's going to start posting YouTube videos because I just can't describe just how entertaining it is to watch a cheeseburger host a video stream. And yeah, no, it's very clever, very well done, and I wish I thought of it first. I just got to say that I wish I thought of it first, but I didn't. And I'm also not a cheeseburger, so yeah. Anyways, this was an interesting week.
You could wear a cheeseburger costume for Halloween.
I could. I guess you know what? That's an idea. We might talk about that. But remember, that's you want to check that out. He's got an iVlog channel that he streams at usually late at night a few times a week. And that is ivlog.tv/user/the super dumb show. Dumb with a B. As in it ends in B, not starts with B, because that'd be the super bum show. And no, it's the super dumb show. So yeah, check it out. Subscribe to the channel so you can get a little email letting you know when he's going live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brian, you seem to have a real fascination with that word.
Which word?
Cultural appropriation.
Well, no, because I tweeted a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's
it's a topic.
Okay, just a theme.
He learned a new word.
No. I'd heard it, and I thought, that could be a good topic of conversation because that's a thing.
Okay, so
right?
I don't know where to go with that.
Well, that's okay. We don't have to. I mean, that's why I retweeted them to you, Jonathan. So if you saw something that okay, I got it.
All right.
The thing about cultural misappropriation is, like, can a white guy wear like an Indian costume or reference anything that's, Native American?
Well,
and that's a bad thing. Excuse me. When I was a kid, we played cowboys and Indians. Well, I wasn't a cowboy, right?
Well,
so
the
if I wore a cowboy hat, am I appropriating something that a cowboy has, or if I'm, in an Indian costume, Native American, am I? No, this is just what a kid does, right?
Yeah, I remember this is a minefield of topic and discussion that could be gone into, because at the one hand, certainly there was a time, heck, when I was a kid, you'd run around and go, with the hand over mouth. Yeah, for demonstrative purposes, and we certainly didn't mean any disrespect to anyone, and we were, playing.
That's all we knew.
But
you're a kid. That's all you knew.
But then, it can be explained to you that, there's a very important culture that is very meaningful to a group of people, and they might find that to be dismissive. And it's like, on the one hand, you could just be
how often does it come up where the Washington Redskins name is offensive to people and they should change their name? This keeps coming up over and over, year over year.
Well, that's
personally, it doesn't offend me.
Well,
but yeah, I agree.
You.
Somebody is offended. Sure, there are people that are offended.
Native American.
Why doesn't that team just kind of get up with it and just change their name?
Here's the thing. I'm biased because I agree that they should just change the name. It's a name that is offending a group of people that they are seeing as a offensive name or put down or hurtful. It's like, dude, it's a sports team. Change the name. And on the other hand, you got people that really identify with that team, grew up with that team, and consider that to be sacred. Does that outweigh the offending of a nation of people, or
and some Native Americans didn't care. They didn't care.
But I think David Letterman had the best solution for this. You keep the name, you change the team mascot to a potato. Redskin potatoes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They can still be the Redskins.
Right. And you cut it with a tomahawk chop.
Well, I don't know about that.
No, you can't use potato.
I think it's funny is that would probably be the most offensive thing, yet that is still shown on TV when they do it. Right?
Now, you can't use potato. You'll offend the Irish.
Oh, dear.
But those people all died, so who gives a shit, right?
The views of Brian do not reflect the views of me.
Hey, it was just a line. Gee whiz, get it over.
Now then,
I like Irish people.
This cultural appropriation hashtag has actually got quite a lot of shit in it.
I just went down a few items and I, grabbed one that looked interesting.
The problem is there's not a clear line to draw on this is offensive and we should stop it, or this is not meant to be offensive and we should chill. And I think there's points on both sides. On the one hand,
okay, so apparently there was a white guy that had a food truck, and we made tacos, and they were good. But because he wasn't Mexican, they had to shut him down. It's like, what bullshit is that?
That's just ridiculous.
Okay, now that is bullshit, because
they got one. I found this one post in here. That's always funny as hell, and it kind of it might be on target. It said just says me. The concept of cultural appropriation is bullshit. You here watch this Stefan Molyneux rap video. Me and cultural appropriation. Now, I don't know who Stefan Molyneux is, but apparently this is pretty bad.
Anyways.
Well, a lot of the British rock stars picked up blues from the black musicians that were touring, the UK. and that was a big influence of the British rock music, which really was a big part of the British invasion, right? Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and a lot of these guys were sued because they literally were ripping off the songs that they heard. Led Zeppelin got sued by.
Tutti Frutti, oh Rudy, Tutti Frutti.
I don't know. What just came to mind was Pat Boone doing Tutti Frutti. It seems appropriate for this conversation.
But did he pay the royalties?
Well, yeah, he did pay royalties,
So
but it's
nothing
very
wrong with that, man.
yeah.
Actually, who was the author of the song?
That'd be Little Richard.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Venison, what's your thoughts on Pat Boone's version of Tutti Frutti?
Version of
Actually,
Crazy Train.
To me, it's okay.
Okay, all right. Now let's go to Little Richard.
Oh, totally better. Yeah,
Exactly. Who needs the Pat Boone version when you got this? But we got Skype.
but still, there's a cover band all over the place,
There we go. Yeah.
paying royalties. Nothing wrong with it. Some of it sucks.
So are we actually here?
We are actually here.
We're here. Venison, are we here?
We don't know where here is, but here's okay.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm
We're in the internet.
I'm actually leaving Johnny's AutoZone and the Hot Chicken here.
Oh man, that's too bad.
And I gotta turn this chicken up. Be right back.
That makes me want to just leave and come back tomorrow. I've already got my. Yeah, I'm replacing the battery in a 2-year-old car. Isn't that nice?
That 2-year-old shouldn't. So is that covered?
No, the battery's good for 2 years. That was the warranty on the battery.
The battery had a 2-year warranty, and you
And
just
that's
reached
dead.
2 years.
Wow.
Yep. 2 years.
That's a piece of shit.
Yes, it is.
So does that have like a timer built in?
I'm thinking so. It may be like my iMac.
Hey, do you remember? It was probably 20 years ago or more, where the battery companies were saying, "Hey, we're going to give you a lifetime warranty on these batteries," right?
Well, I thought
No,
that was
it
for
30 years
hybrids. Or hybrids give you like a 10-year warranty on.
No. This is the
that's a
regular
whole different
car
kind of
battery. This is a regular car battery, and it was given you a lifetime warranty. And places like Texas, there's no battery that lasts more than 5 years because they burn up.
Yeah, you're actually talking
hot.
sort of kind of back in the Sears and Montgomery Ward days. There was a time back in the late 70s, early 80s that they started doing that. And actually, funny story about that. The whole thing is that they never expect you to, first of all, keep the money or the car.
Right.
And I actually have, the friend of mine that Pat knows that has the big bottle of cold juice.
Yeah.
His dad had had a battery put in like a 74 Cadillac that they've had all these years, and Sears has had to replace that battery about 10 times. And every time they replace it, they swear this is the last time they're going to do it. And every time they say that, he has his proud receipt saying, "No, this says lifetime. If you'd like to go down that road."
Yeah.
So you're right, because I know back when I used to work at Whitlock Auto back years and years back in the early 80s. They had lots of things. They had alternators, starters, all had lifetime warranties. But the whole catch was you never expected anybody, like I said, ever keep the paperwork or keep the car.
Right. Well,
There's
it's
all
like
kinds of fine print.
the
car.
Moen, mowing faucets and that sort of thing.
Yes.
Those have a lifetime warranty. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, you could get that replaced. Oh, that's right. I don't have the paperwork because a plumber installed that, and I don't have any paperwork.
Well, in a lot of cases on those two, they won't just send you the parts to do it. You have to have somebody else put it in.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
That's,
That's how they got us.
yeah, my wife was not happy. It was her car. The battery went dead on.
Mhm.
Oh, that happens to everybody all the time. Lifetime warranty. Oh, well.
$200 later, and here I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Oh,
worked for a
stipulation.
computer. I worked for a computer outfit that had a lifetime warranty on, memory cards and stuff like that for, the early PCs where you bought a separate memory card.
Mhm.
And we got this one back that had our label and everything on it, but we knew that it was not made by us. Some Chinese outfit had cloned it exactly.
Oh,
And we just
so
sent
might
it back
be sneaky.
And we didn't require the paperwork. We just, hey, if it went bad, we would replace it. But this one we just sent back and said, sorry, we didn't make
You were
that
the
one.
you were the Walmart of computers, huh?
Right.
Oh man.
So
Hey, speaking of computers,
This company
Speaking of
went under for a
computers,
different
yes.
reason now.
And oh, by the way, dude, I do feel a responsibility to point out to you that you pulled a Brian. Just before the show, I was asking Brian about Nick, and he's like, "Yeah, I went and I saw Jonathan." Flip the names. You earlier said made reference to the guy that Pat knows, and
oh, I did.
you did, and I just wanted to
Okay.
point that out.
Okay. Well, yeah. So
Well,
I'm
this is the time for that, right?
And I just
Yes.
I found that
What,
funny.
what are you saying, Johnny?
I'm
What are you saying?
I'm saying that I think I know the guy that Pat knows.
Okay. I think you do.
I think I
You
do.
do.
Well, that's
man.
part of
So
it.
anyway, so I got to ask. I know all of you guys saw my tweet to Johnny.
Are you serious about Dell?
Well, not now. I kind of was, but
You know, I haven't had to call Dell in so long. I don't remember what they have for hold music, and it may have changed. So to really give an opinion on Dell, I need to call them and get put on hold.
So let's call them.
that would be the deciding factor,
That would be well, of course, because
or at least part of it.
if you have a PC, you're going to need to use that warranty at least 20 times. You're going to be listening to a lot of that company's hold music. So
Now, John, I want you to think about this because this is important.
okay.
Because not only will whoever this PC is purchased through have to deal with me, but you will too. So we should probably keep that in mind.
Dune, what would it take to put you in another Mac?
See,
What? No.
see, here we go.
I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Vamp pretty much led you towards the back. I kind of said, "Hey, if you like it, stick with it." It sounds to me like you want a PC. It
Well,
sounds to me like this. Welcome home, Dune. You're not here to say, buddy. You're here because you want to be here. Because we've all tried to lead you towards a path that we thought you want to go down, and here you are in PC land. So welcome home, Dune.
Well, here's the thing. I'm trying to do this
Chief, get the job done.
with my eyes open. Well, what I want is to not have to go through this again for a while. Now, here's the thing: there's no Mac that's ever going to keep up that I can afford. It's going to keep up graphics wise with a PC. It's not going to happen, and I know that. I know that. So that's kind of where I'm at.
You want something that you can keep upgrading the video card in, is what you're saying.
Well, I want something I can, because I think for what I'm going to do, I should be able to get something that's pretty robust, and it should work for quite a while, wouldn't you think?
I would think. I would think.
Would hope.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's
That's where Dune's call cuts out, is what that is. So here's the thing: is Dune was looking at Dell. Now, I'll be honest with you. I don't know what parts Dell's putting in their computers. I don't know what parts HP's putting in their computers. I don't know what parts Lenovo's putting in their computers. So I'm really not the right person to ask if it comes to specs and stuff. Just to be clear, it was Dune that cut out, not me, right? Can everyone else still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, good.
Hey, Venison, you there?
Oh, so maybe it was Skype that cut out. Well, I hear a sound every now and then.
which sounds like venison. Venison, that you?
Wait, what?
Okay, you're still here. Good.
Oh yeah, just got back.
We lost. We lost Dune.
So when it comes to who's building the better computers or who uses the better parts, I never know what's in those towers or what's in those computers. And I'm not sure if
That's why I build them myself.
and I'm not sure if experts know what's in them. Now I build mine myself, but I also don't know a whole lot. I don't build enough computers that I've bought different brands, different things. All I know is that the last build I did,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I had to.
Hey, welcome back, man.
That was my fault. I was still listening.
Vamp is, building more things. He's out there, doing builds and things like that, and he's probably got a good PC a feel for who's building what. What I will say though is that I like the current company I work for uses Lenovo, and I've not had a big problem with the Lenovo's. What I like about the Lenovo is they have this application that you install it on the computer and you run it, and it kind of checks and just gives you a list of all the drivers and softwares, and you check the checks for the ones you want. So getting all your drivers installed on Lenovo doesn't mean going to their website and hunting them down one by one and running a bunch of executables. It means running a program, checking the boxes next to things that say driver, and clicking next a few times and letting it reboot a few times. So
because that's the one thing that is kind of crappy. That what I have to do is I have to buy a of course I have to change it to Windows or XP, not XP Pro. God, listen to me. I just went venison on you.
Yeah.
I have to buy Pro for it, which is about another $100, I think. And that would, is that what an upgrade cost?
I haven't priced that.
Yeah. Johnny. Yeah.
If I had one more of those free licenses, I would send it your way. But I sent my last 3 to Australia.
Thank you. Forsake me for a hot chick, Johnny. I appreciate it.
But a family of 3 little girls that with limited income.
I got you.
I made the right choice.
I think you did. But anyway, so that's something I got to consider too. Now I did look at Lenovo's, and they're comparable or running right around. I mean, I could get one for $700. I could spend $2,000. I'd rather spend about $1,000. So maybe $1,300. I don't know. I'm guessing I should definitely get a solid state drive. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yes, and you should definitely back it up regularly.
Okay. Well, and I'm guessing when it comes with a solid state drive, that is the operating system, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, because it comes with a solid state drive and a regular drive.
Right, and you put your Windows installs in the solid state drive. That runs faster. Now, Brian, I noticed, said a rather quick no to the solid state.
Did he say no?
I said no.
Yep.
I understand why you said no, but I disagree with you on that. But I would like to give you your opportunity to give your rebuttal.
Well, I was listening to what your suggestion was, and I putting the operating system on it, and so maybe that's the way to do it.
Well, a solid state drive does run much faster than a spin up drive, and that's the appeal of them. It makes the operating system boot up faster, makes it run faster. Now, long term, there's a finite number of times that you can write to a solid state drive. So is
that true?
Yeah, that is true. But then again, keep in mind, any hard drive has a limited amount of time before it breaks down. I mean, your spin-up drive's got moving parts that are going to wear down and break down. Your solid-state drive has got a limited number of times you can write to it before it starts to wear out and stops holding data properly. Which one's better? Which one's worse as far as longevity goes? I don't know. But the solid-state drive is going to operate faster. The thing is that generally, you keep your Windows install on the solid-state drive. It's a smaller drive than your storage drive, and you're storing all your stuff. And no matter what type of drives you have, back all that shit up.
Back your shit up.
Yeah, I mean, I have there's a free version of a program that's called Ease US To Do, and I basically set it to every morning take a image backup of my solid state drive. So that way, in the event that my Windows drive dies, I can restore that image to a spare drive or a new drive and have my Windows install back up without having to reinstall all my shit.
Oh, no. And it actually does it as an ISO?
No, it does it in its own format. So
But it'll still do what you're wanting to do. You can actually physically put it onto another one and off you go.
Right. Now the thing is, I have to have a working Windows installation with the program installed on it to restore my image, which means either I need to like hook up some things to my laptop with some USB cables, or I need to put on put on a new Windows install on a spare drive just to have some place to run the EaseUS to do and restore my image to a blank drive and then boot up to it.
And you've done this. Okay. You've done this restore procedure.
I've done the restore procedure, and
easy.
No, I've had to jump through some hoops, but it works when I get it done.
But was this because the solid state drive died?
Well, I've not had a solid state drive die. I've had a solid state drive be problematic, and I thought it was dying, but I ended up reviving it. But I did do the restore process while I was trying to figure that out. And like I said, you got to run it from something that's already booted up to Windows. Now, if I had my solid state drive die today, I would basically take my USB drive that has my backup images on it and my SATA dock, and I'd hook those up to 2 USB ports on my laptop, get a replacement drive to put in my dock, and install the EaseUS onto the laptop, and find the image and restore it to my replacement drive that's in the dock, and then I'd put the replacement drive into my tower right where the dead one came out of, and it should, if I did everything right, boot right back up. Now, you might spend a number of hours doing this restore, but at the end of the day, you don't have to reinstall all your shit.
Okay.
And then also,
complicated. And I'm sorry, I'm under a car, so that's why I said.
And when it comes to my storage, I have 2 4 terabyte.
Don't ask me why I'm replacing a battery and I'm under a car. It's a long story.
Wait, is that something to do with the car or something to do with?
It's something to do with dropping something.
You dropped something.
Yeah, and Hyundai has this great idea of, to make the car go through the air easier, we'll put this underneath air dam on this thing.
Oh, they put a wrench catcher in there.
Yes,
for your convenience.
For Mike, it was a feature.
It was a feature.
It's a feature.
The wrench catcher. Because you don't want that hitting the ground. That'd be bad for your wrench.
The wrench catcher 9000.
Anyways, I have 2 4 terabyte internal drives that I store data on, and I have 2 4 terabyte external USB drives that I have a task that runs every morning and syncs up what's happened to the internal drives to the external drives. That gives me redundancy. That does not give me the ability to move back in time, though. So if I accidentally delete something today and I don't realize that until tomorrow afternoon, I don't have a way to roll back.
But doesn't Windows have a feature that does that?
Well, if Shadow stuff, I mean, that's but you're gonna have to take up space to keep multiple copies of the same things. I'm just doing a straight mirror. I'm keeping it simple here. But when you read up on redundancy and how you're supposed to do things, my weakness, my Achilles, I have 2 Achilles heels in what I'm doing. One, I'm not keeping anything off site. So if this place burns down, I lose that all. 2, I don't have an ability to roll things back. I'm just keeping a straight mirror. So if, it's like, hey, I had something a week ago, I don't anymore.
Okay.
But I'm not running a business here.
You don't go to OneDrive.
What's that? Well, I mean, OneDrive, you only get so much space on that for free. I mean, what could you get for free on that? I don't even know how much space they give you for free.
Are you getting hard drives for free?
Well, the hard drives are a one-time expense. I don't need a monthly expense to rent a hard drive. I'd rather own my hard drive.
Right.
I'm not fond of cloud. I really, cloud is, got its advantages, but you know, and I see that's good for work stuff. But when it comes to my own stuff, why do I want to? Why am I going to store it on someone else's computer? It's just going to get hacked.
What did it have?
Okay, hold your breath. Yay!
Yay! He did it.
Now my wife gets to go to work with the clock flashing 12 o'clock.
Oh, you can take a few minutes to set that.
I'm gonna have to because you just shamed me into it. Thank you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Hey, no problem.
Thank you.
Keep the old lady happy, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no.
what time is it? Let's see.
Let's see. It is
8:05.
9:05. Why don't you set it to Eastern?
6:05.
Yeah. I think I'd be better off leaving it saying 12 o'clock than doing that. Just saying.
Just add the 2 minutes, 5 minutes.
Okay, 8:06 is what it's going to go to. I'm going to leave it a minute ahead.
There you go. All right.
Okay, so. Ooh. Hear that?
That's a car.
Yeah. All 5 ponies or whatever it is.
5 ponies.
Yeah.
Clip clop, clip clop. Clip clop.
There's about a 16th of a venison car in there. Whatever.
So have you seen this new car, the Genesis?
Montrose that he drove. Oh, the Hyundai. Oh yeah, that's pretty badass for Hyundai.
Yeah.
Which is funny to say expensive luxury Hyundai, but it's got like I think it's got like 500 horsepower.
The thing that cracks me up is that you get badges to replace the Hyundai badge on it.
Now, you know, I can't help but wonder, why are we still comparing things to horses? Have we not made horses feel bad enough and inadequate enough?
They use kilowatts. They use kilowatts overseas.
Let's think about the horses. I mean, how do you think that makes a horse feel to be like, yeah, this is like, 500 of you. Yeah.
Well, it keeps the union rate down on horses.
That's right. And then it just reminds them how many that have gone to the glue factory.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Don't be dropping off the scale because
you got these animal rights groups that want to, eliminate the horses that draw the carriages in the cities, and the Ringling Brothers closed and all this kind of stuff, because of animal rights issues.
I think he ran over the toolbox.
And we got
no, I just shut the garage door.
We just got a tweet that came in from Photog Melissa. Hey guys, you forgot to fix your text. Melissa K, Outlaw Radio. Text? What's she referring to?
I think she's referring to probably something that Outlaw Radio did, because they take a lot of interviews, and it sounds like somebody who just interviewed with them. So they probably messed up a link or something of hers.
Oh,
just guessing.
Okay. All right. So I should just send a reply. Oh, thanks. We'll get right on that.
Check it. She might be hot. Check it out and see.
I'm just going to disregard it. I'm not going to mess with that.
Okay.
And dude, what do you mean monstrosity that I drove? All I had, with the Buick.
I thought you had like a pretty hot Chrysler back years ago.
Ew, no.
Oh, okay.
Don't be putting down venison like that.
It was, the Buick Special. They were all Buick Special. Except
Special.
my main one, with a 310 Wildcat engine in it. They had somebody put in there when we bought it. Oh, wow.
Okay. Well, there you go. I knew you said you mentioned something that had some horsepower to it. So
block and a half, long-standing burnouts.
You're a Buick guy, Venison?
Yeah.
Yeah, my first car was a Buick. I had a 66 Buick Grand Sport.
Well, you're old enough now. You should probably own another one.
Exactly.
You know what you are? I would say if that's the case, we could call you the cotillion of car owners.
Cotillion of car owners.
Yeah, there's a place called the Cotillion Ballroom here in Wichita.
Oh,
and it's a place where bands go when they're brand new, and it's the last place the bands go right before they implode.
I see. You don't
so like there's been several big bands that have started there, went up, toured huge coliseums,
and then ended
and
there.
then the only saving grace now is that I should actually amend that. It's not where they go before they die. It's where they go before they start playing casinos.
Oh.
They
'Cause I
stop
think
by
that's-
on their way to
that's the-
Vegas.
That if you're playing the Kansas Star Casino or something like that, I'm thinking, yeah, your cash flow is low at the foreigner residence, is what I'm thinking.
Well, when you went and saw Foreigner, it was a Foreigner cover band, wasn't it?
That's true. That's true. Even though they use the name.
So what bands got their start at this place?
I'd have to go check, but there were several. I know. I'm pretty sure Van Halen played there in the early days, and there were some other ones. I think Sammy Hagar did. I'll have to go check. But there was lots of them that were that was one of their first headlining gigs where they weren't doing backups.
So if these bands are doing wineries in California, are they on their way up, on the way down? Where
Who would they be though? I mean, what kind of bands are you talking
bands
about?
at wineries?
Well, Yes has played at a winery. Yes.
Oh, that's way down.
They are. They've already went the way of Foreigner.
They're a
There's
Yes
probably-
cover band with Steve Howe at this point.
Yes.
right.
I mean, we got no
There.
Bruford. We don't have a legitimate Wakeman, but we do have plenty of barking dogs, so they could do Jingle Bells.
I'm home, Johnny. Can you tell?
I noticed. Anyways, though,
Here you go. Put it in your glove box.
Maybe some bands just like to stay home.
no, I don't know.
You know, where they go up big.
I mean, once they got rid of John Anderson, it's like there's just give it up. Give it up. It's just Steve Howe and a bunch of people doing Yes covers.
I mean, Twisted Sister ended up, playing in the Piscataway for decades. Yeah, for a couple decades. So,
even still, though,
they got famous.
Even still, when Yes goes to a winery and they get $80 a head, they make some good money.
I'd put that above.
Well, there's a sucker
I'd put
born
that
every
above it.
minute.
I'd put a
Well,
winery
sure,
above
sure,
the
but
casino
and
because
I've gone to see Chicago at at a place, the Concord Pavilion.
Huh.
It's like
How many original members they got?
I missed when.
I'm not even sure. That was years ago. I went with that guy Dan.
Right.
Yeah, he liked to go to those. It's like, I mean, when you see that poster in the guy's garage with Jimi Hendrix and the ticket was $3. Damn, you feel short-sighted here.
We kind of, well, I wasn't there, so I didn't have the option, but the time to see these acts were back then. The time to go to see live music is not now, unfortunately. We missed our chance. The best thing we're going to get is, Yes playing the winery and Foreigner playing the casino, and then maybe we can go get a cheap buffet and hit some slots.
There you go.
Or
I tell you what.
I went to see Eric Clapton. Some years, I was probably a dozen years ago, let's say.
Okay.
And and I enjoyed it. What the heck, although it was $120 or whatever.
Ooh.
But people were bitching that, hey, he doesn't have it anymore. Well, then fucking you go up there, or why did you fucking come?
Well, you know what? You might be onto something, because that's kind of what I was going to say. I've watched several things, concerts that were on TV of people that were, really, I thought really pretty cool back in the day. And what I've noticed is they try to improve on the songs and completely screw them up. It's like, sing the damn song. You don't have to do an a cappella version of it. You don't have to do the all guitar version of it.
Oh, I hate that.
Sing the song. Now, sometimes it's okay, but there's been some that have been really, really bad.
I mean, it's nice when you get a band that knows how to jam with it.
Or don't. You know, if you can't do it where people can enjoy it, just don't fucking do it anymore.
Well, no, I've seen, like, I've gone to see Todd Rundgren a few times, and he still puts on a good show. And I've seen him do different styles and different types of shows, because different tours he does differently to appeal to different crowds. But it's always a good show. Like I saw one show that he basically he was doing some songs acoustic on just the acoustic guitar. He sat down on the piano to just do some songs singing on the piano, and then he plugged in his MP3 player and sang to that. And it was an entertaining show. And he did a good job with it. And then he the last time I went and saw him, he actually had like a full band together, and he was like jamming like he did. But he's like, sometimes he does bang on the drum in a different style, but it works the style he does it in. And then sometimes, I Saw the Light kind of is like this kind of lounge singer type of style that he like, which is probably from his With a Twist album, because he did do an album in the 90s of redoing his old songs in like a lounge singer style, which was interesting. But it's if someone does a good job of changing the song, it can work. But sometimes it's, if you're just changing it just for the sake of changing it and you're not making it better, then don't waste our time.
Well, what do you think of, like Clapton did an acoustic version of Layla? Now, at the time when that came out, I was working with a guy who was pissed off that he ruined the song.
I agree with that guy. I hate the acoustic version of Layla. Absolutely.
So don't listen to it.
I don't. I change the station when it comes on.
It's fine. That's fine, but you didn't ruin the song. You can still play the old one. Get off the old record.
I mean, he didn't erase all the copies of the old one, but he did. The wording, he ruined the song, isn't meant to be taken literally the way you're trying to. He did ruin the song.
Yeah, I heard that.
And I just don't really care. Yeah, I mean, I don't really care. It was a thing to do, to play this stuff acoustically. That's what he did. Get over it.
And it plays acoustic, but the thing is, though, is that version became so popular and was played so much on the radio, and I was like,
but that's not his fault.
Well, yeah, but it's still, he did it.
He was doing a live gig. Big deal. If you don't like it, shall we say, turn the channel.
Hey, I don't like it. I turn the channel, and I'm saying I don't like it. I'm not out there trying to erase every copy of it.
Get out of the elevator.
Hey, have you seen me send one angry tweet to Eric Clapton about his acoustic version of Layla? I don't think so.
I haven't, See, okay.
I've sent angry tweets about hold music, but I have not sent an angry tweet about Eric Clapton's acoustic version of Layla.
Sure.
There you go. And just think about what you just said. Angry tweet. Hold music. Let that sink in.
I mean, see, in a way, Jimi Hendrix has an advantage, right?
Well, he's got talent. Wait, what? Well,
because he can't play a new version because he's fucking dead, right? Janis Joplin, hey, she can't ruin anything that she did because she's fucking dead.
So you're saying that Eric Clapton's big mistake was not dying?
That's correct.
Okay. I'm glad we've established this here.
Okay.
John Belushi can't ruin his old jokes because he's dead.
So this is the key to your legacy. Die before you ruin it.
That's right.
That's
And hey, John Belushi is more popular than ever because he died.
I don't want to get in that. I don't want to get in that line. By the way,
you don't want.
If I'm in the die early line behind Brian, can somebody please pull me out?
Okay.
Just saying.
I think Brian, judging by Brian's age, he got in the wrong line.
That's right.
You waited too long, Brian. You ruined it.
That's right.
You've lived too long. Your legacy is tarnished.
That's right. Now, as a programmer, I suck.
See, the right time to have gone, Brian, would have been like the day before I came up to you and said, hey, I got a great idea. We're going to call you and have you be on the show and talk about life in that country with the sticks. Singapore.
I'm going to send you a link, Johnny.
Okay.
And I'll let you look over this because it's too much for me to fathom. Right
which-
now.
which-
It's the bands that played at the Cotillion. I just thought you'd get a kick out of it.
Which message method am I looking for
Oh,
this link?
your personal.
Ah, yes. Okay.
You mean
All
you
right,
don't
so
want to share that on Twitter?
I will.
Oh yeah, Johnny can.
Oh, I'll
Okay.
totally.
It's actually much more than I ever thought. It really is. I didn't realize how many.
I
Why
should
don't
have
you
seen
drop a few
Sister.
names just for name dropping sake?
And they're all it's alphabetical. So
All right. Well, I just tweeted that. So if you're following at Johnny Gators, you can see the tweet, the relevant tweet, and this is a tweet for the Cotillion Ballroom in Wichita, Kansas. And let's list of events held at the. Is that what I'm looking at? List of events.
yeah, that have been held here.
Okay. Oh,
So that's and then the list of artists. If you go down there.
all right. So we want to scroll down closer to the bottom and to get to back in the. Well, this is
Well,
looking
no,
like all
actually,
2000s.
it's alphabetical. That's what I was saying. It's kind of hard to.
Okay, let's see. 3 doors down. 38 special. Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter.
He's still doing. That was 2013. That's definitely on the way down. Alice in
Yeah,
Chains.
yeah. It's interesting to see if it was on the way up or on the way down.
The Animals in the early 80s. Okay, that's going to be on the way down. April Wine in 93 and 2000. They're still doing stuff. Let's see. BB King. That's probably, he puts on a good show no matter when you go see him.
Well, not now.
Well, not now, but now. Well, I don't know. He might be able to pull off the Death Show. Billy Idol, Blue Oyster Cult. Oh, remember the Bloodhound Gang? Yeah, there you go. They with the roof is on fire.
Did you see it was the Hooray for Boobies tour?
Yeah, well, that was one of their albums. Was Hooray for Boobies, and
Wow.
let's see. Hooray for Boobies was the album that I think had the bad touch on it, which was the "You and Me, Baby, Ain't Nothing But Mammals." So let's do it like they do on the Discovery
okay.
Channel. Yeah, it was their second hit.
Oh, you missed Alice Cooper.
Yeah. Oh,
Cool.
Alice Cooper. I'm just
They're
kind of
the ones that did that.
yeah. You didn't know who did that? That's the bad
No.
touch by the band I just said the name of, the Bloodhound Gang.
See, Alice Cooper's kind of been hovering for a long time because I saw him at a fair a few years back.
Yeah,
he's
and
still profitable.
I've seen him on different things.
There's some people that still
But
put on a good
he's
show.
interested. He's got a big interest in cars as well.
Dream Theater. Let's see. Dan Fogelberg in '97.
There we go.
The Fabulous Thunderbirds in 2013.
That's about as down as you can get.
Yeah.
Was Twisted Sister in there?
Maybe. That's Insane Clown Posse. They're still relevant. Well, 2010.
Hey, Duke Ellington. There you go.
Let's see. Johnny Cash. In the late 60s.
So that would have been pretty big.
Yeah, that would have been.
Yeah.
That would have been a good one to see. Korn in 2010. Let's see. Anything else I've kind of jumps out at me? I'm just kind of browsing.
The
Yardbirds.
Yardbirds.
Insane Clown Posse.
Insane Clown Posse.
ICP. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but the Yardbirds in '66, that'd have been a.
Oh, that would have been a hot.
That's a
That'd
good
been-
one.
that'd been
Yeah.
a hot one for the time.
That would have been a hot one. to
James
see.
Brown.
And then-
James Brown.
And then Led Zeppelin about 12 times.
Oh, and Janis Joplin was there before she died.
As opposed to after.
Yeah.
Now, Weird Al Yankovic's one of those acts that whenever you go to see him, he's probably going to put on a good show.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Although it will be weird.
Well,
Oh,
you
yeah.
have to wonder sometimes because a place like this, you're going to pack it. That's the one
Okay,
thing
so-
that's kind of cool.
Okay, so what do you think of John Bonamassa?
Who?
Joe Bonamassa, I mean.
Who?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
You don't know who that
Even
is?
I know. Have you?
He's a blues guitarist. He claims to be the best blues player ever.
Well, not quite that, but
Well, he does. I mean, he brags about his stuff, and I'm on the fence about him. You know, he's on. Yeah, I mean, he plays on the blues channels.
yeah,
Okay.
he's been off PBS.
Again, I'm on the fence because I'm not sure whether I like him or I think he's just an asshole. Well, he's probably an asshole, but whatever.
Wow, there's a
So you know he's an asshole, but you're not sure if he's
No,
just
I'm not
an
sure
asshole.
that he is. I'm just not
Oh,
sure.
oh, okay. I see. I thought
And
just
nobody
was the
seems
key
to have an
word.
opinion, so we can move on. Joe Walsh. Now he's a total asshole, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
and I
big
like him. I like him.
That disappointed in me.
it is disappointing, but yeah.
I love his music, but
Oh
his
yeah.
outlook as outlooks, no.
No. Moving right along.
John Lee Hooker, another great blues guy. He
Yeah.
was good.
Now, speaking of music, we could just keep reading lists off of sites, but Dune and I had a fun experiment Saturday night, and I wanted to
yes.
bring
yes, we
Brian
did.
into the experiment. Now, Brian, back in the day, did you buy a lot of 45s?
Early on, I bought a bunch. I probably got up to maybe 20.
20. Okay. Now, would you ever stack them up so you can listen to a bunch of songs in a row without having to put them on one by one?
Yeah. In fact, I had worked at a beauty parlor on the weekend, like on a Sunday when nobody was there, to kind of clean the place.
I see.
Do the mirrors and sweep the floor and whatever. And they had a record player there, and I bring in some 45s to stack up and play while I'm doing this stuff.
Right.
And that was and that was kind of cool. Some Rolling Stones and some Doors and that kind of stuff.
Do you remember
That's
which
what I like.
songs were your favorites? That you had
Ruby Tuesday, baby.
Ruby Tuesday. There you go.
I don't think I could ever get that out of my head.
Well, no. What happened was we were doing a show where I have 45s all around in this room, along with LPs and 8-track tapes and cylinders and
Cassettes.
cassette. Well, there's some cassettes in a box somewhere in the closet. But what I would do is, without looking, I just grab 5 random 45s, throw them on the changer, and you had no idea what was going to happen for that stack of 5 songs.
Now, did you get you have a bunch of plastic inserts, right?
No, I got a big piece of plastic that goes around the spindle and has little plastic tabs that move around, so I could stack it on that. I don't have to put.
So
hot
the
rod.
changer has that adapter.
Now, don't jump over the top of this. Let's quiz Brian and see if he knows the answer to the quiz. Brian, do you know who invented that little thing?
No, I don't.
That would be Varios Spindini invented
Yes.
that, and that is
Ding,
absolutely
ding, ding.
absolutely not a name that we made up on Saturday night.
Would-
It is real and
It's
legit.
like the guy that invented the toilet. His name is Crapper.
Yes, exactly,
Absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely. If you go and you look up that and it takes you to a site that says @5 Hit Dune, it's legit.
It's legit. Yes,
Right.
Because it's
Or in the Civil War, there was a bullet that was called a mini ball. Well, it wasn't really a ball. It was invented by a guy named Minnie.
Ah. But anyways,
There we go.
before the show, I grabbed, without looking, 5 random records just to see. So this is kind of today's
See,
version.
we
of,
also cover the Civil War because, Venice and I are old enough.
right. But you were there.
Hey,
Hey, we were on the same side, buddy.
But anyways, so I grabbed 5 random 45s just to demonstrate how a record changer works on the show here, and bring back some memories for Brian here. And who knows what 5 songs happen to be queued up, because I just grabbed them from random. And in my collection, you never know.
Can you
What's
turn your
gonna turn up?
camera toward the device?
I can turn the camera towards the device.
Oh, sweet. You have to go a little bit more because
Yeah.
you're and down a little. Yeah, there. Perfect.
There you go. There you go. And it's on an angle now. So we are defying the laws of gravity. And here's the other cool thing. is to get the authentic sound of a record changer, I've mic'd the turntable.
See, who else would have even
Nice.
the thought or the gumption to do that? That's awesome.
I
So
just ate.
there we go. Does that sound familiar?
Alexa, don't drop the mic.
And we had our first turntable malfunction. There we go.
Yeah, we only had a couple during the show. We had a traction issue and a skip issue, and that was about it.
Oh, it damaged the needle.
Oh,
I think I can bend it back into shape. There we go. So the first one we picked up was the Left Bank with Walk Away Renee. That's a good 45.
Oh yeah, that's a classic. I never had that, but it's a good one.
Yeah, that was a recent find actually. That one was actually a $3.45.
whoa!
But it's in great.
45 is supposed to go for 75 cents, aren't they?
Yeah, but, well, it depends on the person and the quality of them. This place, they had a box of $3.45s, and then the next week they had a box of $1.45s. I bought a lot more of the $1 ones. The $3 ones, though, were good material in good shape, which was difficult.
They were 75 cents when they first came out.
Well, this one is
I was
a
gonna say
classic.
they were $1 in my day, like 99 cents. I remember that.
Well, this one actually is one of these ones that was like a reissue that they
You
put.
didn't have a book record store.
This one's a reissue that includes 2 hits, so it's got Pretty Ballerina on the other side of it. So you get both of their hits on 145.
So it's like 2 A sides.
Yeah, it's like a double A side. So should we let that play through, or should we just cue the next one up? I mean,
Cue
it's,
Next one.
all right. All right, here we go. Next one's getting ready to drop down.
Hit the reject button.
There we
There
go.
you go.
Now let's see what we got coming up next. This
Needle
could be-
drops off into the exact right space that
Oh, we got a Love Jones going on here.
Now, is that adjustable where the needle drops?
Well, yeah, there's probably a fine-tune adjustment, but it's basically there's a setting over here that you can set it for 12, 10, or 7. So you do have to set it. Now, some changers would have a little thing that would detect where the record would hit it if it was a 10 or 12 inch, and so it would use that to detect how far to move the arm in.
So what brand is this?
This one's a BSR.
Oh yeah, they were
It's-
great.
Oh yeah, that was the ones that would tap the stack, see what side it was, and then come back and drop it. And
Yeah,
play it.
well, this one's manual. I have a lever up here that I can set to 12, 10, or 7.
So don't mix the records. In other
Yeah,
words.
no, this one you can't mix the records.
If someone was to rip me off,
But
I couldn't account for my actions afterwards.
this guy's
And the way
got
I
a serious Love
feel,
Jones.
knowing that you should have been mad all the
That's a
time.
guy.
Yeah,
But you
Okay.
see, I'm not only want you, baby, but I need you.
This sounds like
yeah.
the Basketball Jones guy too.
Basketball Jones was a parody of this. This is the original. You didn't know Basketball Jones was a parody?
I think he did. He's
I do.
laughing.
Listen to me, girl.
It's just a silly song. It's easy to make fun of.
Oh wow!
Okay, hit the reject button.
You're right.
You don't? Oh, well, we would hear the refrain.
Oh,
All right, you want the reject. Brian's
Whoa.
rejecting the Love Jones.
Dude, you just blew my mind on that.
Yeah?
I never knew that.
Oh, wow.
I didn't either. I thought Basketball Jones was. I thought that was the song.
No, even I knew it was a parody, but
Yeah.
I didn't know of what.
Oh, you got Alive and Kickin'. The song about my pants. Tighter, tighter.
Oh, wow.
This again.
This again? What do you mean? This is a classic.
Overplayed on the
Hey, hang on
radio.
a second, you guys.
Uh-oh. Brian's gonna go somewhere. Oh, this is a good one. What do you mean over? It's played a lot because it's a good song.
No, it's played a lot because that's the way they did it back then.
That was a big hit. Classic
There you go.
45. Yeah. I wonder.
Yeah.
I wonder how long Brian's gonna be going for.
There you go. Well, listen, I'm gonna have to listen in because I gotta finish cleaning up here. So.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll do. What was your
I
favorite
will be
45
tuned.
that I played over the weekend? Did anyone of them stand out?
It was Boz.
Boz.
Absolutely,
It was the Boz.
it was the Boz.
Hey, what do you think of the cheeseburger show last night?
I got to watch some of it.
Yeah,
He's a hoot.
he is. I hope he goes
Now,
on again tonight.
We're gonna have to talk about that other guy sometime because he's disturbing.
Oh, the guy that because he still
Yeah.
calls him all the time. The highest.
The highest, yes.
He's interesting.
Yeah, is Venison still there?
Of course.
Venison, this cat, and I do believe him, inherited a whole bunch of money to the tune of about $250,000, and smoked it all in weed. And I don't doubt it. I really don't.
Yeah, I know. I've always wondered that. How is it possible you could do that?
Well, I think what he did, he moved to Florida and was basically living large, and
So
But even so, I mean, just that amount of smoke alone, your lung would.
yeah, but I mean, he might have been.
fall out in 5
he might have
years.
been, who knows? Burning $2,000-3,000 or more a month living somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
you can burn through that pretty quick.
yeah,
Dude, still, like I said, from 1975 on until about 2000 something. I've been smoking every day. Every day. But large, sometimes large amounts, and I would never come across that kind of, that much money. Never in my lifetime.
Well, I think there were some accoutrements that went with it.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
pretty
that was living and smoking money.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Damon's favorite.
I actually like that song.
Yeah, so do I.
There. Oh, okay. We got a venison approved one on the stack finally.
Yeah, I do. I like that song.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's catchy.
yeah. Now, have you ever had any of these on 45 back in the day?
See, I probably did because that's what we used at the radio station.
What about you, Brian?
No, I never had this. I forget
No.
who was the band
I
again.
recorded it.
Four Seasons.
I never
Oh, yeah,
bought
Four
them
Seasons,
for
yeah.
myself. I never bought records. I always bought.
You didn't buy records. You bought weed.
Yeah, and either cassette or 8 tracks
and Visine
and Visine by the gallon.
by the gallon. Yes, exactly.
Nope, I got smart early on. I was saying, hey, it's on the radio. Hey, why don't we record it off the radio? Hey,
There
I've
you
got
go.
it on cassette.
There's that.
Okay, guys, I'll be listening.
All right, cool. Thanks
All
for
right.
calling.
You,
And what's-
you buy Visine because that will reverse the
Yeah.
the dilated pupils, right?
Oh, there we go.
Oh, this was cool.
Yes. Best version of this song.
Who does this?
Blue Suede. Kind of a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah, people love this just because of the Ooga Chaka.
Oh, yeah.
Ooga Chaka.
Oddly enough, it's a cover of another version that also had Ooga Chuggas from England. They were not the first to do the Ooga Chugga version.
Yeah, I know it. I've always wondered that. I swore I've heard that phrase before.
Yeah.
So when did this come out?
Blue Suede's version of Hooked on a Feeling?
Yeah.
Let me look that up. And let me turn off the turntable mic because that's picking up the clickety click click clicks of the
70s, I think.
Well, no. Originally, it came out in the '60s, but the Blue Suede's version came out in the '70s. Hooked on a Feeling, '68 pop song written by Mark James, originally performed by B.J. Thomas, which featured the sound of the electric sitar. And Blue Suede had a version reach #1 in the United States in 1974. And a Blue Suede version made singer Bjorn Skif's Uga Chugga Uga Uga intro well known and famous in Sweden at the time. That was actually they were a Swedish band, but it was originally used by British musician Jonathan.
Is that
King.
one of the bands that was covered by Univision? Like
Univision?
ABBA?
What?
Oh, that's the big European music competition.
I don't know, but
ABBA came from that.
okay.
Of course, then again, who doesn't like blondes from Sweden, right?
There you go. But apparently, so Blue Suede's version was from '74, but in '71, Jonathan King did a version of it that also had Ooga Chuggas.
No, that wasn't it.
I can't stop this feeling.
So that's the original Ooga Chugga, Hooked on a Feeling.
Girl, you just don't
I think Blue Suede did a better job with the Ooga Chuggas, though.
Yeah, but it's
Yes.
true. But this is an interesting version. The way
It
that
is.
vocal comes in.
Yeah.
everything's alright. What kind of feeling?
It's an interesting version.
And a little bass riff that goes along with it. It's kind of cool too.
Well, I think Blue Suede did a good job with the bass, too.
Well, but I'm just saying what they did to it. I wasn't trying to compare really, even though this is a show about comparing.
It's totally a comparison. It's different style. There's definite differences. That's interesting. But let's listen to the bass on this one again, because you noticed the bass on that one, and I was trying to think, well, is it different or because it does that? I mean, this one goes a bit slower with it, but it gets a nice groove with it, and I like the
that's
hand
good too.
clamps.
Yeah, that's a big part of the song. For sure.
Now I'm beginning to wonder again about permissions and copyrights.
What do you mean?
Did they have them?
Well, I mean, the songwriter was
sure.
credited on all versions. I mean, it was written by Mark James. I don't think Mark James recorded his own version of it. It was recorded by B.J. Thomas, Jonathan King, and Blue Suede. And there's probably been other covers since then, even. But yeah, I mean, they all credited the same songwriter.
Okay.
I mean,
Just wondering.
they didn't pull a Led Zeppelin.
Yeah, I mean that's just a standard cover that they also covered the author of the song, right?
Right. They didn't do
With
like
money.
Led Zeppelin and totally rip off Dazed and Confused, which was totally a song written by someone else before they ever
Right.
performed it, and then put songwriting credit on it because they made the lyrics a little different.
Right.
Yeah.
Total rip off.
Is that the one
It
that
sounded good.
got sued by Muddy Waters? Was that a Muddy Waters song? I forget.
They've been sued by plenty of people, but no. Well, here let's review because
it made it sound good. What can you say?
now we all know Led Zeppelin's song "Dazed and Confused," but for those that don't, let's review off of their first album, Led Zeppelin 1, or
And
just
I love
play it,
this
Led
song.
Zeppelin. You love the song
Oh,
"Dazed and
I love that whole album. That's my favorite, really.
Oh yeah.
It may not be
yeah.
the most popular, but I don't give a shit.
Oh no, it's a great launch.
mind-blowing.
Title. Yeah.
Been dazed and confused for so long, it's not true. Wanted a woman, never bargained for you.
Now, before that was released, though, there was a guy named Jake Holmes that put this out on his first album. And this is from 1967, 2 years before Led Zeppelin's first album came out with it. Sound familiar?
No, but it sounds pretty cool.
Just days ago,
Bobby and shoes, but I'd just like to know. Give me a clue as to where I am at. Feel like a mouse and you act like a cat. I'm dazed and confused, hanging on by a thread. I'm being abused, I'd be better off getting it. I can't stand this tease and I'm starting to crack. You're out to get me, you're on the right track.
So he performed this
Yeah.
when he opened for the Yardbirds. So they clearly knew him and heard this
Right,
song.
right.
And then they
That's
Changed it up
just
quite a
pretty
bit.
weird.
they changed it up a bit, but not enough to make. I mean, it's still called Dazed and Confused. They didn't change the song.
Oh yeah, right, right. Well, I mean, yeah, the lyrics are different. There's a lot of the feeling is different. So you
Yeah,
kind
the
of
feeling
it
sounds like
would be a
it's
good
in the
argument to say
60s.
it's a different song.
It's
But then you know, it's interesting.
It's I mean, well, it's still based on the boom 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 boom
Yeah,
boom
right.
boom boom riff.
Yeah.
And I mean, they
Right.
changed the melody a little bit, changed up the lyrics a little bit, but it's still called Dazed and Confused and based on the same. It's really not different enough to claim that they wrote
So
a completely new song.
who won the lawsuit?
I think eventually Jake Holmes won the lawsuit, but it was much later because at the time he couldn't afford a lawyer to go up against him.
Sure.
So for years they got away with that.
It definitely sounds like it shouldn't fit in the 60s, though. Barely, but not really.
Let
But
me
it's really out there. I mean, it's out there.
Yeah. But then again, the stoners would probably love it.
But I mean, the thing is that the Yardbirds would actually perform this song, and it eventually morphed into their version of Dazed and Confused when they at the point when they were Led Zeppelin. So it's not like they wrote a new song based off of it. They performed this song, and it morphed into a song. So does it really make it become original? Now let's see if there's any lawsuits or anything. You know what? In 2010, it took till 2010 before Holmes finally sued them. And they filed a lawsuit in the United States District Court alleging copyright infringement, naming Page as co-defendant. The suit was dismissed with prejudice on January 17, 2012, after an undisclosed settlement between Page and Holmes was reached out of court in the fall of 2011. Subsequent Led Zeppelin albums, such as Celebration Day and the remastered deluxe edition of the group's debut album, expanded the songwriter's credit for Dazed and Confused to by Page, inspired by Jake Holmes. So they gave him a shit ton of money, I'm thinking, as part of that. Because they don't even give him songwriting credit. They just give him inspired credit, which I understand Led Zeppelin's going to claim, oh, he inspired it. We changed it so much, but it's more than inspired. He should have had co-writing credit. But
Sure.
But they reached a
But
settlement that he agreed
When
to.
they reach a settlement, that's how it came down.
Right. So if Holmes is happy with it,
Yeah.
and that means some lawyers go home with a little less money.
So the big news thing going on is well, of course this is old news because we don't give a shit.
Okay.
Is this Harvey Wisen asshole, right?
Yeah.
And so, and I don't know the details of the story, but apparently a number of the women that were abused by him over the years, would go after him, and he would just give them money, and then they would be shut up, right?
Okay.
And now, what's coming forth today, is it these same women, or is this a whole different women that didn't manage to sue him?
I can't speak to this with authority because I've not been following the story. I mean, the only thing I've really been following is that the guy's a creep, the guy's an asshole, and that's all I really need to know. Is this guy has been treating women badly? And
so here's my thought: is
you bring up a good thought or a good question.
If a person was in this situation, which sucks, I totally agree, but you went to court or whatever, or leaned on the guy and he gave you hush money, and then years later you bring this out into the open. Okay, by accepting hush money, you basically signed a contract says you're not going to talk about this. So years later, if you start talking about this, should you be giving the money back?
Well, that depends on what was signed at the time. If they're in violation of some legal agreement,
Right.
I think the whole making it go away for hush money is kind of
signed, though. Signed is the big thing. A contract doesn't necessarily have to be on paper with signatures. Or they can be vaguely written so that the piece of paper doesn't even say what happened. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's where the lawyers wrangle over.
I'm not sure. The thing is, though, is that my understanding is that this guy was in a position of power and abused that power to get certain things, and a big part
they all do,
and a big part of why
all the producers.
Well, let me finish my thought, because I'm starting with the obvious. But I think a big part of this is that he's not paying every one of them off. He's paying off the ones that start to get a little more pushy. For the most part, he uses his position of authority and his power to basically say, it's your word against mine. No one will believe you. If you speak up against this, I'll ruin your career. You'll never work in this town again. So I'm guessing there are more people that could bring up dirt on him that haven't taken hush money than those that have taken hush money. So and
I'm not arguing about that. I think they should just go after this guy until the guy's balls are cut off.
We don't need the hush money people, plain and simple.
True. True. Now, here's the other side of it that I think is kind of bizarre. There's the designer that goes by the name DK. Okay. And her shop is DKNY. She stood up and said, hey, he's a wonderful guy, whatever. He's my friend. And she's getting shot down. Is that right?
I'm sure child molesters have friends that they're nice to and that they come across as good people to them. So it might be legitimate to say, hey, he's always been nice to me. I've always known him to be such a nice guy. But that's not the whole story, and that doesn't change what's really happened. So what are you hoping to accomplish by that? The crowd
will come through.
Does that make what he did all right?
Why go after DK? What the hell did she do other than saying, this is my friend. He's a good guy. I was never aware of these issues.
Because you're defending a nefarious person.
I mean, here's the thing is...
But she never knew that he was.
Personally, I don't
I'm
care.
Guessing. I don't have all the details.
Now that you brought up the issue, let me give my 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
And then we'll get Venison's 2 cents on it. Personally, I don't care. And I think it's kind of like whatever she says is kind of irrelevant. And I'm not going to go after her. And I don't care about what she says. However, I can understand why her saying that would tick people up, because in the context, what reason do you have for pointing out, well, I've always known this guy to be a nice guy? I mean, are you trying to say that excuses what he did, or you don't think he did it? I mean, it's like you're saying that in this context at this time for a reason, and I think it's that's causing people to be like, hey, what the hell why are you defending?
But then you have guys that go to say, this asshole gave money to the Clinton campaign. Why aren't they speaking out? What should they say?
I mean,
do the Clintons have a responsibility to say, yeah, this guy was a fucking asshole? Or, yeah, the guy he gave to us, what the hell do we know about his personal thing?
I mean, yeah, that's another one of those ones that what is it? I don't think anyone's saying, I don't think many people are speaking in defense of him. And this is coming to light now. I mean, that's
okay. So, Venison, what's your take on this story?
Again, all right. When it comes down to it, look, these producers and all like that, they call it the casting couch for a reason. Couch, all right. most of the times when you're on that casting couch, you're going to get molested. Plain and simple.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
right.
whoa! The views of Venison do not
Well,
reflect.
guess what? That's the way it's been going. That's the way Hollywood's been working forever. Okay,
Yeah, but does that still
also-
happen? Does that still happen though?
Wait. So Venison,
Yes.
are you saying that they knew what they were signing up for? Or is that the defense you're going with here?
Well, I'm not exactly sure, but but in a way, sort of, yeah. But at the same time, the people who defend him, okay, that brings up another interesting query. The people who defend this slime ball, I sort of put in the same category as the people who were defending Trump.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Actually, about
things happen.
23 years ago, 20, whatever, over 20 years ago, I was in Houston at the time, and I went to this party, and there was a woman from the HR department, and she told me a couple of stories how, like when she was brought in, she was asked to go on salary so they didn't have to pay her overtime. And she basically said, no, you're going to pay me an hourly wage because if I put in the extra hours, you're going to pay me for it.
Right.
And so they went for that. But then she had these other stories about when she was much younger, because at the time she was in her 40s, where she worked at a place where the manager would make these advances to the female employees. And it's kind of like, do I have to put up with this? So that was pretty common, I would say, in the 60s and 70s.
And it's
That doesn't excuse it. It just explains, this was actually very widespread.
yeah, and we're getting to an age now where this shit needs to stop happening, and more people are speaking up, and hopefully we can get some real change here. Because,
of course, things do change because back in the 60s and 70s, the 3 martini lunch was very common.
Yeah,
drinking, during work hours, and in business meetings was common. People even had bottles of booze in the office.
Here's the thing. Why was getting rid of booze and smoking in the office more important than getting rid of sexism? Why didn't we start with the sexism and keep the booze?
Because the booze and tobacco were the obvious things that you could you walk in the door and you knew.
And giving a good firm open palm slap on the behind was not obvious.
I never got the slap in the behind that way.
Is that
so I never saw it. I wasn't aware of it.
I don't know. I
many
was going for the
women
obvious
that
there. I
happened
was quoting Family Guy.
Sure. Oh, okay.
I don't
So,
know.
a lot of the women that came in wouldn't talk about it because they were embarrassed.
That's
But yeah, I agree. It should be stopped.
we should have kept
I
the
don't think
martinis
that
and got
comment-
rid of the sexism. Is what we
Yeah. I mean, hey, how
yeah.
long have they been doing? I had a guy. I worked for a guy in the mid '80s who had to go to these sexual harassment seminars.
to learn how
and
to
he
be more
treated
efficient? Or-
No, sexual harassment because he was treating women differently than men. Now, I had never heard any allegation that he had, hit him in the butt. He just clearly, and you could see it, would disrespect women.
He was
But also, it was interesting. This guy was a short guy. You kind of thought he was a little Hitler or Napoleon.
okay.
It was one of those assholes. He would also treat tall guys very differently. And we had a tall guy in the group that, he just couldn't, he couldn't get a break from this asshole. Now, I'm not particularly tall, so I was, Yeah, I was kind of like in the middle. He treated
Average
me
height was fine, but if you were like, boss man tall, then you're.
Although I was
you're
working on this program and was going to deliver it to my users, and he came and asked me to do a demo for him. So I sat down, we brought up the program, we were running it, and suddenly the computer went off. His foot hit the power switch, it was a power strip on the floor, and his foot bumped it, and the computer went off, and ruined the demo. It's kind of funny, really.
Yeah.
I don't think it was on purpose. I think he was just a fucking klutz.
Sounds like it.
But,
Yeah.
Well,
anyway,
wait. Go
anyway,
ahead, Venison.
before, while Brian was going off on, assholism in the workplace, let me get to two things that I've been, cut off on. One in the beginning and one really later on. Because I was talking, because I never got this out. Like I said, I think about adult things in kids programs. Like I said, PBS show Arthur that was in there. I caught this today because the TV was on. I was looking at Twitter, but I heard something that freaked me out. And the words, "There's a booty thief out there."
Booty thief?
And I was like, "Yeah, a booty thief." And I was like, "Wait a minute.
What the hell is that?"
Well, actually, because of the context of the program, they're talking about disappearing socks, and DW is a 4-year-old.
Oh, booties that you put on your feet.
Yeah, booties. But that kind of shocked me. Kind of made me look up and I heard it say, "There's a booty thief out there."
Out there grabbing all the booty.
It's like,
I see.
Wait a minute.
If I cut you off there, I apologize because that did go with that conversation.
You do that every time.
Well, we never know.
Anyway.
All right, it happened. It happened. Anyways,
Okay,
on that
yeah.
note, we do
No,
try to be.
wait. Okay.
I got people waiting for me.
Yeah, so do I. But still, there's one last thing. It is short. Like I said, Twizzler Scissor. I tried to get this out too. But like I said, for 25 years, they were down there at this bowling alley in Piscataway, New Jersey. This nightclub called Zappies, with a bowling alley next door, attached to the building. I didn't think they were there. I didn't think they were there. They just left the name on the sign. Apparently, they were still performing there, even after they made the money. But on it, got the fame and everything else, they were still there. I couldn't believe that. I was trying to go there. I wanted to go there and see the show, but as usual, late. I'm always late. The place burnt to the ground.
Oh shit!
Oh,
I missed them.
you missed them. On that note, we do
They
try
saw
to be.
venison coming, so they burned the place down.
Maybe. Because I finally realized, hey, they're there still.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, on that note, we do try to be educational here, and I think we've learned a whole lot this week. I know I have. But Brian, what have you learned this week?
Let's go to venison first. I'm still
Venison, what have you learned this week?
Oh shit!
And I've learned that we are not educational, and my co-hosts have learned nothing. And on that note, it's time to put another fun-filled edition. You did learn something. What have you learned?
I've learned that you should not stack your records like that because they make them skip and get scratches and everything else.
Right.
These are cheap 45s.
That's right. $3 for a 75-cent album record.
Well, no. Well, that one. Well, no. And you know what though? It doesn't. A few times stacking them doesn't do that much to them. I like to have fun with my stuff. And Brian, what have you learned?
Alexa, what did we learn?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
See, there we go. We got the answer.
And I've
I
learned
also learned that Gators is getting funky with burgers.
I've learned that Alexa is not learning anything from us, which is good, because if Alexa was learning, I'd be very worried about the robot uprising and the army of Alexas
Right.
taking over this planet. But we don't have to worry about that anytime soon, because Alexa learned nothing. So thank you everyone for listening, and remember, eat burgers.
Eat burgers.
Now I can watch Scorpion.
Good night.
All right. So why didn't we make that phone call to Dell to get the whole music?
Because we got sidetracked, and because we had better material to work with.
Okay. All right. Well, we keep that for next time. Or
Yeah, we'll
another
figure it
time.
out next week.
Right.
And he still hasn't learned that Dell is not that